Hello, good evening, dear teacher. I'm going to talk about of my third lesson plan. In this moment, I'm going to explain how to take my class. First, let's go to start with this activity, warm-up activity. Then I'm going to give the introduction, the topic through this poster. Then we need to do this exercise in class. Then the students have to practice and reforce this vocabulary through these flashcards. And finally, the student have to do this evaluation at the end of the class. In this moment, I'm going to explain step by step the lesson plans designer of me. And first, I'm going to say the 1 point. The first point, informative date. The name of the school, it doesn't apply. And the topic is frequency adverb with the present simple. And date is July 8, 2020. The grade is applied for the students of the second baccalaureate, and duration of the class is 45 minutes. The proficiency level is lower intermediate and B1, that 1 CEFR. The lesson plan designer is the Vanessa Victor Parrales and me. And the second point is about the TEFL objectives and the TOEFL objectives. In this part, we need to apply 4 skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And for listening, all the same objective of the other plans is to identify and follow instructions, and speaking, accurately name the new vocabulary word, frequency adverbs. The main topic is reading, recognize the vocabulary words and frequency adverbs. And writing is frequency adverb according to level of frequency in which make an activity. In this part, it's necessary to apply 4 skills for a student because it's necessary to practice and do of the class and to develop the class for listening, speaking, and reading and writing, such as or through the activities. And when the teacher said one information, and speaking when the student talked with other students and to do activities, and reading when the student read the extraction and reading the on the board, and writing and when the student write of the sentence or write on the activity or other activity that the teacher gives you, or in other aspect. The third point is the methodology and strategies. In this part, methodology, communicative language I put, and total physical response, because it's necessary to communicative language, and when the teacher communicate teaching through this poster, for example, and the total physical response when the student is attend to or pay attention to the class and they apply to this methodology, and the student pay attention and respond the activity and respond or the instruction that the teacher say. And the strategies is individual words and through the worksheet and share evaluations, maybe. And that is the strategy that they put in this topic. The number 4, anticipatory set. The teacher say the begin to talk by talk about them that we usually that do and their frequency. For example, he will start by giving an example from his daily life and related that wherever that he visit his mother, he brings him roses and in his same way he give about the 3 or 4 more example with different adverbs so that the students are aware when adverb frequencies of are used. The number 5, and we have the main teaching input. In this part, all lesson plans, the teacher explains state by state all the activity that they developed in this class in each topic. In this case, let's go to start with one an activity. The teacher will deliver a worksheet in which they will have to find the different adverb of frequency in a letter sort type activity. This is the one and activity, and so that a student will learn the adverb in a fun way about in the considered learning techniques. And but is and next to explain the correct structure and write the sentence using the frequency and adverb. The teacher gives to a student a worksheet, and the teacher gives to a student explain and the end using according to the frequency and adverb. The teacher will around the checking student. The teacher and the student check the answers. And the teacher and the student conclude the class by reviewing the topic briefly. And this part is necessary because the teacher note of the state by state to apply it in the class. And the number 6 is the modeling. In the modeling, the number 6 is I say that for example, the teacher at the beginning explain and detail then use in the case in which the term is used to perform individual exercise to clear specific doubt and growth work to finish clearing general doubt that they poses. Number 7 is we have the guided practice. Students will develop an activity in which they will place at a better frequency according to the information that is in parentheses. The students will reorder at them the correct adverb that is that this activity. And the number 8 is independent practice, and the student will write a sentence with each of the frequency and adverb studied in the sentence. It will be varied with regard to verbs. They should not repeat increase in vocabulary later. The student will participate saying at least one of their sentences that those practicing this pronunciation. In the number 9, assessment is the student will work in pairs, will solve a worksheet, and they will add the adverb of frequency according to the content of each sentence. This adverb will found at the bottom of the worksheet. And finally, number 10 is closing, review, and follow-up. In this class, and the class will be concluded by reviewing the topic briefly. Students resolve a short evaluation and at the end of the class, and this will allow the teacher note of level of understand of the class provided. This is necessary because the teacher evaluate of each student to learning and all level to note of each student to understand about of the topic. This is all about of my third lesson plan. In this moment, I'm going to talk about two aspects, positive and negative aspects about this lesson plan. But in my opinion, the positive is because the positive aspect it is good and great because the teacher and put the necessary points and objective and necessary objective to develop the class and also search different didactic materials. And the negative aspect is the same of the lesson plans, other lesson plans, because the time there are a lot of time there aren't a lot of time to do all activities. In many cases students and no don't have clear the topic and don't know there or don't know the do the sentence or activity, but it's necessary had a lot of time and also for apply another activity or place or something that the student pay attention to the class or better is to feel to feel sense to feel happy to to participate in class. That is all for me. Thank you very much.